Today we are going to start a new poem named The Ball poem, composed by John Berryman. Now, if we see the poet John Berryman, American poet and a scholar best known for the Dream Songs, which was the sequence of 385 poems, and because of this song, the Dream Song, that he got the Pulitzer Prize and the National Book Award. He had been honored, conferred. So this was about, in short, the poet John Berryman. Now, coming back to the poem, The Ball poem is the title. You might have understood the poem is about a ball. You all are very well familiar with this object which we used to play, especially in our childhood, with this object. So that the poet has tried to relate this object with the golden period of our life. So what is the golden period of our life? Childhood, which is the innocent, considered as an innocent period of one's life. Young ones, or such a young and innocent period, we could say. So the poet has tried to relate this object to ball, or the loss of the ball, to the young and the innocent memories of the child or the boy. Giving a beautiful example, the poet has given in a very simple language. The poet has explained the poem, which easily you could understand, right? So just try to keep the book with you while you are listening the video. Now, when we look at the introduction of this poem, because when we will start the poem line by line, word by word, that we will explain, right? So a boy loses a ball. So in this poem, in introduction, the poet has given a boy when he loses a ball, when he lost the ball, and that time after losing the ball, the boy is very upset. He is disturbed now. A ball doesn't cost too much. The poet says that he is disturbed not because of the cost, because the ball, it doesn't cost too much. He could buy another ball, no matter at all. But some reasons the poet has given why he could not want to buy another ball, why the another balls or the money cannot replace each and everything. That is also the main intention of the poet. Nor is it difficult to buy another ball. It was not difficult for him to buy another one. Why then is the the boy so upset? If we say that it was not difficult for that boy to buy another ball, so why then the boy was upset? Read the poem to see what the poet thinks has been lost and what the boy has to learn from the experience of losing something. And the main intention of the poet is here that the poet wants to teach us. It means being a child without any experience of the loss, because for example we are or you are the child without any experience till so far. You have not gone through that experience of losing anything, and first time if you lose something, so definitely the way that you feel at that time, that experience is given by the poet in this poem, because that is your first experience. And life means definitely it is a continuous process of learning. We have to learn through various experiences, various problems, or anything that we have to learn something that the poet has given. So now let us start the poem. First thing that you understand here, The poet, for example, this poem is written in unrhymed iambic pentameter, right? The poet has describes here the grief of a boy over the loss of a ball. Why the boy was so upset, that is given here, because the boy, he senses his first responsibility in a materialistic world. And sometimes it is possible that you will be forced to do the things which you do not want to do, which you don't like to do. Such things in life, it happens that we have to do. It happens, right? And one more thing, whenever in our life, definitely ups and downs will come. Sometimes the time will come at the certain mode of the points, or at a point of our life, that we have to lose our loved one, or the possessions that we have to leave, or we have to bear, we have to go through the loss in the form of relatives, in the form of maybe, for example, our loved one, or maybe in the form of money or the other things, right? But it is fixed that it means definitely we will go through the this experience, right? So the poem starts. Ball is a symbolic. First of all, you understand. Ball means here, for example, it symbolizes what? The memories, sweet memories. Sweet memories of the childhood. It is a symbol. Ball is a symbol of sweet memory. It related with the memories of that innocent child, or the innocent childhood. It relates that the poet has given, right? So now, what is the boy now? Now the poem starts. Then the poet says that, what is the boy now who has lost his ball? See now, repetition is given here by certain words, or we could say that the figure of speech is used, poetic device. Do you know what is the meaning of this poetic device, alliteration? Right? Do you know? Alliteration means repetition of the consonant sounds. Am I clear? Repetition of the consonant sounds, not vowels. I am not talking about A, E, I, O, U. These are the vowels. I am talking about the repetition of consonant sound. For example, in this poem, the poet has repeated certain words. What, balls, balls. It means B. B sound is repeated. Then the letter W is repeated. So in this manner, and various symbols are used. Maybe the ball is also one of the symbols used by the poet. The persons or the situations which has another meaning, which is other than the literal meaning, that is also symbolically the poet has used. So all these things that we need to understand, right? The first line the poet says, what is the boy now who has lost his ball? One boy is given by the poet, one boy, and the poet asked, what is the boy, what he is doing there, who has lost his ball? The boy was playing with the ball when he was playing, but suddenly he lost the ball. And on that one occasion, the poet has composed the poem, right? What? See now, what the word is repeated again and again. Repetition, right? What he is he to do then? Now this is the question mark now. It means that child, the boy who has lost his ball now. The boy, specific boy, has lost his ball. So what is he to do now? What is he to do? What? There is a question mark in front of him. What shall he do now? So then, I saw it to go merrily bouncing. The poet says, I saw it merrily bouncing. Merrily means happily, right? Happily bouncing. I saw it merrily bouncing. Bouncing means leap or jumping. I saw it merrily bouncing down the streets. The poet noticed when the boy, for example, the boy was playing with the ball. That time the ball merrily, it means happily bouncing. It means up to bouncing, that it went down the streets. Down the streets, and what happened later on? Down the streets and then merrily over. Then merrily over. So what happened? What over? There it is in the water! Exclamatory mark. And the poet surprised and say, look what happened. There it is in the water now. Where is the ball now? The ball fell into the water now. Right, suddenly. When the boy was playing the ball, merrily it bounced down the streets and over now. See what happened? Merrily it fell into the water now. It means it is now in the water. So what to do now? Question mark. The ball fell in the water now. There it is in the water. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. Right? The poet says that. Now, see now. The poet says there is no use at all to say that there are other balls. Right? Why the poet says that? Meaning is given here. Oh, there are in glossary. Oh, there are other balls. It means the word suggests that the loss is not important enough to worry about. Right? Loss is not important enough to worry about. So, no use to say, oh, there are other balls. No use, the poet says that, because that ball was related with the memories of the childhood memories. That was the first loss of the boy. First time the boy had met with the loss. First time he has gone through that experience. Which experience? Losing something. Because he loved the ball. That was the first one. And related with the memories, childhood memories, sweet memories, innocent or the young days. So that is why the poet says that now he has lost the ball. What is he to do now? So, and no use to say, oh, there are other balls. Yes, you can purchase other balls, no matter at all. It doesn't cost too much. You can buy another one. But still, the poet says here, there is no use at all. Why then the poet says that there is no, it means no use to say, oh, there are other balls. Now the reason is given. That is an ultimate shaking. Now the boy has lost his ball. And what the reaction? Now see the reaction of the boy. An ultimate shaking grief. Ultimate means final. Right? Ultimate shaking grief or the sadness which greatly affects the boy. Right? Shaking grief means the sadness which affects the boy. The boy is become very upset now. The boy is saddened now. When he noticed, when he saw the ball fell into the water now, what to do? The boy is very depressed or he is distressed. So, no ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy. That final grief that fixes the boy. Shaking grief, it means ultimately it affects the boy. He became sad. Grief stricken. Shaking the grief fixes the boy. So then, what happened then? It means one incident took place. The boy lost his ball. So that is why now the boy is sad. He is upset, distressed. Right? Why did he, it means why was he upset? Why he became distressed? The reason is that that was the first ball which he had purchased, which he had bought, playing with that one, and first time that he lost the ball. It means that was the first loss in his life. Something that he had lost first time in his life. Ever that he had not made any kind of the loss yet. No, first time he experienced the loss. So So it was not easy for him to digest. So as he stands rigid, the boy was so upset. So that is why he stands there. When the ball fell into the water, the boy stands there rigid. Rigid means stiff. Rigid, the boy stands there trembling, staring down. Trembling means shaking due to the fear, or shivering, trembling due to the fear, or that fear. Which fear? Loss of the ball. Thinking about the loss of the ball, staring down. Continuously the boy was looking down, staring down. Still that he stood there rigidly, trembling, shivering by the fear, staring down, looking down, all his young days into the harbor. And the ball was, I told you, the ball was associated with the memories, his childhood memories. The ball was loved one. That was the loving possession for this boy. Though it was not difficult for him to buy another one, but the reason is that that was the loved one. First of all, loved one for that boy. That materialistic things or the ball. So definitely the first thing which we purchase, so definitely it is a loving one or the loved one. So we do not want to lose it. Am I right? So but here the boy lost his ball, so that is why the boy is distressed, unhappy, standing rigidly, trembling, shivering with the fear, staring down, looking down continuously. All his young days into the harbor. Harbor means a place where ships or something loads or the unloads goods at such a place. Am I right? Such a place, or the living or the staying place. All his young days into the harbor. Almost he had lost his young days. It means in his childhood he had played with the same ball. He had spent some innocent days of his childhood with that ball. So that is why it is loved one for the boy. The main reason, not the cost at all. The main reason was that so many days that he had spent with that ball. Some happy moments, some good days that he spent with the ball, playing with that object. So that is why the boy is upset or distressed. So later on, all his young days into the harbor now. All his young days almost he had lost in the form of that ball. Ball lost means ball was associated with the childhood. It means he lost his childhood memories. That was one of the memories of his childhood. That ball. So into the harbor, where his ball went. Where his ball went. And I would not intrude on him. But the poet says that I would not intrude on him. Why does the poet says here I would not intrude on him? The question is here, first question you can see in your exercise. Very first question is given. Why does the poet say, I would not intrude on him? Why? Because the poet doesn't want to intervene in the natural process of learning. That is the natural process of learning. That was not a kind of artificial process of learning. Naturally, when he was playing that, he lost the ball, and so that is why the poet says that it means don't try to give him another ball, or I do not want to intrude on him. Why? Because the boy was learning. What the boy was doing? That the boy was in the natural process of learning. The nature was teaching him, or by naturally, automatically the boy was learning that how to bear the loss and how to stand up again. We cannot spend the days, we cannot spend the hours or the days or the years. When we, for example, when we are losing somebody, or when we lose our relatives or the loved one or the possession, we cannot spend the life only on the grief, expressing the grief over his or her death or the loss. we cannot spend there. This is the natural process. We should learn something through that experience. That's losing, or this is what this is the universal truth. This is the part of the life we have to understand. Right? Once again, that we have to stand up. We should not give up, and we have to start the journey of the life. Once again. So this is the way of life. So that is why the poet says here that I do not want to intrude. I would not intrude on him. Intrude on him means he doesn't want to intervene. Where in the process of in the natural process of learning. In the natural process of learning. So that is why the poet says that doesn't want to buy another ball, or he doesn't want to intervene. Right? So this is what the half portion of this poem is given. Few lines are left, some 5-6 lines, and the theme that we will discuss in the another video.